If only there was some sort of system to help you fix any problem that you may face as pilot in command. Well, there is. Here's how you can solve any problem while you operate in this big PIC. Let go! Boom! Your ability to make decisions in life is going to be critical and vital to your success, not only in life, but in your aviation journey more specifically. And one tip here, particularly if you're at the student pilot level, try to work with your CFI to make sure they're allowing you to make a lot of decisions under their supervision, but you're the one that's actually making the calls and making the decisions and identifying problems and coming up with solutions for those problems. It's very easy, particularly if you're flying next to someone on a dual flight and they got those credentials, to allow them, of course, to make the decision. But that does not help you. It doesn't help you grow. It doesn't help you identify problems. It doesn't help you make decisions. And then when you're put into the position where you are the pilot in command, now it's a lot more challenging for you to make those decisions. So while you're being groomed, while you're in that student pilot level, build that relationship and build that rapport with your CFI, where every flight that you go on, you're going to make the decisions, you're going to identify the problems and help, of course, progress and make yourself alone. So that way, when you're in that cockpit by yourself, it's not a foreign territory for you. You've already used to making a lot of decisions in critical situations, in stressful situations, and coming out of that smelling good like a rose with some sandalwood and that mahogany teak wood. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Boom! Decision making, just like any other skill in life, comes easy for some people and it's a little bit more challenging for other people. But regardless of whether you fall on the spectrum, there's always areas that you can improve on. It's called a skill for a reason. All skills can be improved. So regardless of how good you are at making decisions, you can improve in this area, and it's very vital to you doing so you can be the strongest and best pilot in command that you can possibly be. And the decide model is the guaranteed way, the systematic way for you to be able to make better decisions in the cockpit. Let's run that thing. Boom! One of the keys to being successful in life is being a problem solver, because problems, hey, they're everywhere. So the person who can solve the most problems and be solutions oriented is going to go the furthest in life. It's just that simple. The same can be said in aviation when it comes to fixing any problems that you may face in the aircraft as pilot and command. And there is a nice system to help you fix any problem, and that system is simply following the decide model. Let's get into that thing right now. Let go. Boom! So the decide model is simple. It's simply just the word decide. DECIDE. And that word is an acronym. Just like in aviation, there's acronyms and checklists for everything. But that acronym can tell you pretty much a nice flow of everything you want to do to resolve most problems that you will ever face in an aircraft. So let's use that model to solve a problem. Let's just say you're flying along and your engine begins to run rough. Obviously, a very common problem, happens a lot. So if that problem arises itself, how can we implement this decide model to be able to, of course, resolve the problem? Let go. A, so our first letter in the decide model stands for detect. So you've detected the problem. That's simple and clear enough. You're flying along, everything's going good, you chilling, hey, you flirting with ATC on the comms, you doing your thing. You know what I'm talking about? One time, and then you notice, of course, your engine starts to run rough. You've clearly detected the problem. Boom! All right, let go. Next up is the E. The E in the decide model stands for estimate. And you want to estimate and evaluate whether or not you want to do something about this right now, or is this something that you want to wait until you get to your destination? If you have a rough running engine, and let's just say your engine starts running rough just before you enter a traffic pattern to land an aircraft, do you want to focus in on that traffic pattern and land an aircraft? You make that decision and you've decided that that's the best thing to focus on because you're getting ready to enter a traffic pattern to land an aircraft surrounded by other aircraft. Or if you're already en route to your destination somewhere and you're in between airports and you've already identified an emergency landing area and all kinds of things like that, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to wait until I get to my destination to do something about this. I've evaluated and I've estimated that I'm going to make a decision to take care of this right now. That's where that estimate and evaluate comes in on that decide model. Run that thing. And the C in the decide model coincides right with the evaluation and estimation. The C stands for choose. So you've made the choice to decide to do something about it. Let's just say you en route, you in between two airports, you're right in the middle, and that engine is beginning to run rough, and you've made the decision, I'm doing something about this right now. I'm not letting it wait until I get to my destination airport. Let's go. Next up is the I in the decide model. And the I simply stands for identify your options. With any problem that you may be faced with, there's always going to be a multitude of different options that you can take as courses of action. There is never going to be a one-size-fits-all or some universal answer to all of your problems. So you got to identify what are your courses of action. So for this particular scenario, we have a rough running engine en route to our destination, and we're in between airports here. So what can we do to kind of fix this problem? What are our possible solutions? One, could we enrich the mixture and see if that changes anything? Could we pull out the carb heat? Could we check the magnetos? There's a couple different things that we can do, a variety of different things, just to, as we have identified and detected that problem, that courses of action that we can take. So you want to make sure you identify what are your options on the table, and then boom, now you're down in the DM, the D in decide. The D in decide simply stands for do the action. You've identified your options. You've picked one of those options. Let's just say you're going to enrich your mixture. You've chosen that. Now do the action. Simple as that. And finally, the E in the decide model stands for evaluate. After you've taken your course of action to try to fix the problem and you pause a moment, you want to evaluate the results. What happened? Did that help your situation in any sort of way? Back to our original example of the engine running rough. After you've taken that action of enriching the mixture, did that do anything? Did you notice that the engine all of a sudden started to run a lot more smoothly? If it did, fine, then you've evaluated the fact that that fixed the problem. Or maybe it didn't fix the problem. It's still running rough. Then you can go back to some of those things you still identified as other options and try some of those. What this whole decide model is all about is trying to get you not to make a knee-jerk reaction to every little thing that happens in the cockpit. There's always going to be some little thing that may sprout up here and there, and you don't want to be making knee-jerk reactions to things. You want to decide in the proper systematic way what to do. And this decide model is a nice simple flow, a nice checklist, because you know aviation loves checklists and acronyms to help you decide what to do and fix any problem, particularly when you're under a high pressure or high stress situation. Being able to make decisions is an invaluable skill to have in life. And you know the one thing that helps you make better decisions? Actually making decisions. You're going to make some good ones, you're going to make some bad ones. But just the near fact of repeatability of making decisions over and over again, you're going to become better and better at it. And this nice decide model is something that you can use for aviation or just use in your life in general. It's one of them things like that. Hey! Don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. I am Donovan Batiste, and this is Leadership Mindset, a place where you can come for free and fun videos about everything that you need to know for you to become a pilot. Let go. Love you one time. Hey.